No way is it week 12 already. Where has this season gone? I swear it was week 2 just the other day. I guess it's freezing outside and we've had our first snow of the winter. It's like when you look outside at the weather and you say to yourself,
He's made a mess of it.
well, there's only one way I usually talk about one of you 3 separate times during my video, and it's when Johnny effing Moxon makes a mess of it, getting called out again during relegation watch and finally at the end of the standings. There was no competition this week as very few messes were made, so good job to the other 15 of you. Time for top teams, where as you can see, the best scores were pretty low this week. Sometimes a 55 isn't good enough to make the top 3. This week we have a 26. Either way, everyone started their best 3 teams, and only, yes, you guessed it, Johnny effing Moxon started a bad team. So we know who to blame for this week's Turbush victory. A lot of competition for Moneyballing it, but I decided on Colt Quinn Whedon. Winky, Wilson, Banks, and Cutler, that's not a law firm, all started their top 2 teams as well as avoided a negative weeks from their other teams, so judging came down to Whedon starting a 2nd and 4th round pick, with both his other teams having negative weeks. A week removed from Moneyballing it, and we have Mr. Relegation Watch 2018 himself, sink to triple digits behind Ryan Leaf with 5 weeks to play. And now, over in the Week 12 standings, the cat and mouse game at the top continues, with Tony Banks becoming the mouse this week, and Jay, the cat Cutler, chasing him, only 32 points back. Kid McNown had a late pick switch email before kickoff, where he switched from the Titans to the Patriots. Let's go down to the field and see how that worked out for him.
Yes, Tony, we're here with Mr. McNown, who says it earned him an extra 4 BQBL points and got a Patriot start out of the way, so you can suck it. Back to you, Tony.
In 4th is Wade Wilson, who started both of his injured quarterback teams, and had an above average Week 12 when it seemed like almost everyone else was below average. So he's got that going for him, which is nice. Chad Hutchison got a goose egg from his best team, Miami, and a 5 from his worst team, Atlanta. Go figure. Ryan Leaf continues to score in the single digits like it's his job. Tyler Pauco has had like 4 decent weeks in a row now, prepping everyone for his eventual tail behind the legs 6th place finish. And finally we have Mr. Moxon, who spent more time researching his next year's new team name than making good picks. Now for some fun, let's quickly go over the best and worst pick from each round of the curse draft so far. The best pick was of course Buffalo, and so far the worst was Chicago, at least in the first round. In the second round, the steal was Tampa Bay, and then the worst by far was Kansas City. The next worst second round pick was Indianapolis, who right now is 87 points better. In third and fourth rounds, believe it or not, Pauco drafted the best of anyone with his 2 NFC North picks, and the Saints were the worst team to own of them all.
Yeah, I did these for the Turbush League too. Don't have to thank me, you're welcome. First round looks similar to the Kirsch League since both of these teams went in the first round in both leagues. But in the second round, Grogan's Jacksonville pick has been the best play so far. Like Pauco, Jeff George redeemed himself in round 3 with an excellent Detroit pick, but unlike Pauco, did not finish it up in round 4. All the Turbushers drafted well in the third round as their worst drafted team is still positive for the year. Finally, we have a tie for the best 4th round team drafted in the Turbush League, and surprisingly, it includes Tom Brady. They just haven't had that many huge negative weeks this season. Now for some scores, the top 4 of you didn't change, but no one really distanced themselves. The real action of the Turbush League involves the bottom 3. Yes, folks, it's week 12 in the Turbush League, and all eyes are who is going to finish in last place. Jeff George jumped from 8th to 6th, leaving Jamarcus Russell in the hot seat this week. If you only look at the 3 of these guys, they've basically each been better than the other 2 for 4 weeks each. What a race!